Good evening, everyone. I hope you are well. It's Nick here, and this is a sort of like a test again. You might have seen the ZX Spectrum stream a bit earlier on today, which ran from 6 to 8. So we're going to be looking at the Atari 2600 as well, doing a few games. Now, my internet speed wasn't brilliant earlier on. There was a little bit of lagging. So this might be just for a few minutes, or it might be for an hour. If the hour goes really well, we might extend it. So it's just going to be a few games there. So I don't know how many of you are out there at all, but you know, I'll be watching this back a little bit later on, and it is a bit of a test zone. Oh, hello Gumdio, nice to see you. So we can look at the Atari 2600 there. As I say, it might be for a short space of time if the internet speed isn't great, because there's football going on elsewhere in the house. It might be for an hour. If that goes particularly well, there's a lot of support, we might go a bit longer. So I'm going to look at a few games there. Hi Julie. So I've got four immediately I'm going to look at. You might have heard of these. Hi Eric. We're going to look at the Fast Food by Telesis in 1982. All these are early 80s, of course. That was written by Don Ruffcorn as Galaxian from 83. Have a go at Tennis from 81 and Grand Prix from 82. So regard this as a bit of a test, if you will. The sound levels we tried to fix last week, so if they get a bit high, let me know about that as well. Okay, so in Fast Food, essentially you control, well, what are some lips, I suppose, that just go around the screen, and you must eat all the waste stuff and avoid the pickles. So it's not really one for healthy eaters. Hello there, Christian. And I think if they try to release this game now, it'll probably be banned for healthy eating. So, you know, written by Don Ruffcorn, you control these like chattery teeth or lips. There, so let me know if it's too loud for you, or we need to alter things, and we'll see how we go essentially. So, avoid all the pickles, and that's pretty much it. So it's back in a day where the games are pretty basic. Don't eat the pickles. Pickles are bad for you. Fast food is good for you. And, you know, looking at this from now with modern day eyes, you'd think, how did they get away with this game? But here it is. It's Fast Food from good old 1982 from Telesis. Hooray! Okay, dokie stuff. So let me know if you can hear me okay, if this is getting through to you. Hopefully it is. Sounds fine to you, Julie? That is good. Now, every time you complete a level, it will say you're getting fatter. Yes, so they couldn't get away with this game at all today. There is a game called Fast Food that came out on the Spectrum. I think it's Fast Food Dizzy, but it doesn't quite play like this. The stuff's going to get faster and faster towards you. If you had this one back in the day, then of course let me know what are your memories of that. But they don't get much more basic than this. But it's back in a time where you was just glad for stuff moving on the screen. Good stuff. So, you know, when we do a different system, it's always a bit harder trying to mix the sound with the level of my speech. But as I say, we'll see how we get on with the internet speed. Go for an hour if we can do. If things are going well, we'll get enough people in, we'll go a bit later. Of course, that's going super fast now. Look at that. How can anyone eat this quick? Whoops, I picked up a couple of pickles. Boop, boop. Well, so the idea is to get as fat as possible. I don't know how fat some sort of like jaws can get you, but I don't know how long it would have taken to make this game. Good stuff. Telesis, 1982. I think I was playing Escape on the ZX Spectrum there. Oh, thanks, Dave. Much appreciated. I never know how these are going to go a bit later on. Yeah, so if you missed it early on, anyone, we did a ZX Spectrum live stream from 6 to 8, but I thought I'd do a later stream as well. This time it's a different system, admittedly, for people getting home from work who still need to de-stress. Tomorrow, all being well, we'll do a couple of ZX Spectrum streams. I know that's a bit much, but we'll see how that goes from a week-to-week basis. So there'll be a 6 to 8 stream, and then there'll be possibly a 9 to 11 stream. Oh dear, I had a bit of trouble there. And Wednesday, hopefully, I've been working on it, I've really been working on it, a Commodore 64 test stream for an hour. I'm getting fatter. Stories, yeah, it is a story of life, isn't it, Christian? That's good. Right. Go longer, says Dave. Well, I'd like to. I'm very limited by other people in the house because it gets to a point where they're all going to bed and of course I'm making a bit of noise. But I want to push as much as I possibly can do on a mini system. So I think I'm getting gradually better on these from the feedback that I'm getting. And yeah, super cool. Super cool. Right, okay, let's go through here. How much stuff am I? I don't think the game varies a great deal from this, but as I say, the support makes a huge difference. So thanks, Dave, for the super chat. I know, Julie, you went in earlier there as well, and you're a member, so all that stuff is good. It gives me a rough idea, because I do look at the stats afterwards. It gives me a rough idea of what's worthwhile, what's possible, what's doable, and they're great fun to do as well. It's all about trying to get a bigger audience gradually. And in theory, the more systems I do, the more time I am live streaming, the more I'll get known. So I think there's quite a lot of content on the channel now, and I think, oh dear, that's game over. I think there's quite a lot I can offer people. Right, okay. So there's different modes in this. Oh, I think that's 1 or 2 player, isn't it, really? So that's the only mode you've got there. Yes, did any of you had this one back in the day? It's a good little game. Alright, okay, so it's starting off quite slow here, but don't eat the pickles. Now, when you look at your emojis, when you type something into Twitter or something, one of the emojis is a pickle. Is that based on this game, or is that something, maybe a little bit something else? You can eat the green beans, but you can't eat anything else. I don't think, was this an arcade game beforehand? I'm not sure. Okay. Can you get Mr. Do on this system? Okay, I'll make a note of it. I haven't got it on my computer at the moment. Mr. Do. I think you mentioned that before. I'll get my pen out in the moment and write that down because I've got a memory like a sieve. Now these jaws, let's write it down now while it's paused. Now these jaws, they don't look very healthy, do they? Right, Mr. Do. D-O, that's how you spell Mr. Do. I can do that for next time. Certainly. Right, let's get that done. Good. Don't leave it with me. I've got it written down now. It'll be there. I'm still trying to find out. I know the main games on the Atari is 2600. I'm just trying to find out about them. My first computer, of course, as you know, was an Atari Spectrum. Well, no, a ZX Spectrum 48K. A friend had an Atari 2600. They was about a year older, and I just missed it. But I'm enjoying looking at them. And I think there's more games for it than I originally thought. ZX Spectrum's got loads. So in this one, we'll have a look at Galaxian. We'll look at tennis, although when I reviewed it before, I couldn't look at a rally game for more than 2 seconds. Oh, thanks, Julia. That's good to know that it's running smoothly. That's good. Maybe people aren't watching the football as much then. So, yeah, all about testing stuff, really. Trying to push it a little bit, seeing what's possible. But, yeah, in the stream, I'll be looking at Galaxian and tennis and Grand Prix. Got a few... if we're still going by then, I've got a few other ones I could potentially look at. Video Pinball, which is always good fun, seeing the early pinball games. Rampage, now that should be great fun if we get to that. Yeah, okay. Oh, hi Dazzy, your first console was the 2600. Okay. You had Roadrunner. Right, I'm going to have to look up that Roadrunner, because as I say, I'm a bit unaware of the Roadrunner games. But did the Roadrunner game go as quickly as this? I think I've got Beam Rider as well. Do you know about Beam Rider? And also as well, I think Empire Strikes Back might be in the can as well, where you travel and try and beat, try and bring down, what do you try and bring down? Those AT-AT, those Imperial Walkers as well. Yeah, there was a version of that on the Commodore 64 called Attack of the Mutant Camels, and instead of attacking these Imperial Walkers or the AT-AT things, you was attacking, well, mutant camels. I think you could have guessed that, couldn't you, really? Yeah. There we go. I always struggled with Rampage on the ZX Spectrum. I liked it on the Game Boy Advance. I'm pretty cool on that. Did it come out on the Mega Drive? I can't remember if I reviewed it on the Mega Drive or not. Was it on there? I know some systems they were on, and some they wasn't, of course. It wasn't very good at Roadrunner. Perhaps it needs a bit of practice. When I you've probably noticed already, when I play the ZX Spectrum games, quite often I'm not very good. I will use a poke to get a bit further. When it comes onto other systems like the Amiga, the Atari 2600, Mega Drive, I don't know any poke, so it's probably for the best. I have to try a little bit harder to see a bit more of the game. There we go. It forces you to... I think that's why I like racing games, really, because you just race, and that's probably about it. You're quite right, Dave. The Atari 2600, the graphics do leave a lot to the imagination. You've got to have a big imagination on this as you gradually get fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter. But essentially, this isn't it? It's just three sections of food coming at you at random, and just avoiding eating pickles. So, I mean, I don't know how many lines of code this has got in total, but probably not a great deal. After this one, we will come to Galaxian from the arcades from 1983, which come out just about everything. Oh, you meant it was a rubbish game? Oh dear. Okay, well, I'm sure we'll come to it. Do look at the rubbish games as well. Still debating whether the said Spectrum stream tomorrow should be a stinker stream, where we look at the bad ones, because quite often it's good at looking at the stinker games as well. Unless it's Jack and the Beanstalk. Oh god, one more pickle and I'm dead. And I'm getting fatter and fatter. Good evening, Dom Reardon. Glad to see you there. Hope you've had a good day. We're playing fast food, and the food is coming at us fast, smacking into our gob. And we're trying to avoid these pickles, which I didn't do. Okay, I think we'll have one last go on fast food. So we're controlling chattery teeth, and we must eat much as unhealthy food as we possibly can. And the year is 1982. 20 people, that is good to know. It's good on the later streams. I often wonder what it would be like if we did a ZX Spectrum stream at this sort of time, and we certainly will know tomorrow, because there will be a stream going on at 9 to 11, hopefully, and one at 6 to 8 also. We'll try and mix it up a bit, and that day I'm going to need quite a lot of energy drinks, so we'll see how I get on. But, doesn't take itself too seriously, the channel. We're about having a bit of fun, sharing the memories, and more importantly, easing a bit of stress, seeing the good bits of the game, and seeing the bad bits of the game. Now, I don't know how many channels are live streaming Atari 2600 stuff at the moment. I don't know if there's loads or hardly any at all. So hopefully I'll come to a few of them, and if there are some, hopefully I'm comparable to them, and we have a nice bit of fun, really, essentially. But I'm gradually getting better. We're doing it about 2 months or so. The Blundering series and long play stuff is still your favourite, Dave. Well, okay. There will be a live stream, as you know, live stream Blundering on the Stunt Car Racer. If I could fit it in, I've been meaning to do it for ages. I know the retro game is the most popular stuff, but I've always wanted to do a Blundering series of Wreckfest, but I know it's time permitting as I do a big burp. Okay, so let's get out of there, and let's try and find Galaxians on here. Good stuff. Yes, so thank you for joining me today. It's all about seeing what's possible gradually. There we go. You should see some invaders on the screen. There we go. It's slightly off the screen, isn't it? Oh well. That's something for me to fix for next time. It's just about off the screen. Oh dear. I should have play tested Galaxian beforehand. But anyway, we'll see a bit of Galaxian. So this game must be obviously a bit more across the screen than other games are. Okie dokie. So this one come out in 1983. I think it's, how far can we go off? Oh, we can go off slightly. So we're missing about 1 inch of the screen, but it is about testing. All the other games seem to fit on okay. This one seems to be having a little bit of difficulty. So I'll go and hide there. No, right, okay. Galaxian, come out on just about everything, really. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's just move it a bit. See if I can move it a little bit. No, I can't. Okay. Well, I should have done that beforehand. This game gets tough quickly. It certainly does. Right, fire. There's a fire going on. Yeah. This is one of the games I didn't test before putting on the stream. There's a setting stellar about aspect ratio and other settings. Thank you. I am using Stellar. I think this is the default screen. It's a little bit stretched maybe compared to normal. Could be. I'm just using the standard window here. Beep. Maybe if I turned it off and turned it back on again, maybe that might help. It does seem a little bit stretched, doesn't it, really? I don't remember it being this stretched before. Lock it to no stretch. Okay, thank you. We'll see if the other games like it. I mean, fast food seemed okay, didn't it? That wasn't whizzing off the screen. Okie dokie. You didn't exist. You was born in 1984. Well, this was what was going on the year before. Hooray! Right, okie dokie. So, because this is not displaying in the correct way, we'll have just one more go on it, and then we'll load up something else. Right, okay. I was born in 1974, so there we go. So I was well in time for this one. 1974. That seems a long time ago, doesn't it? It's the year 2020 now. Surely not. Where does all the time go? It only seems like the other day I was struggling to get served a pint in the pub because they didn't think I was old enough. We need to go back to those times, don't we? Really? We need to go back to those times. Right. I think last time we play tested a few games. I think Frogger was one of them. So yeah, this is another test then. I need to lock the aspect ratio. So more testing required, Nick. But that's what it's all about, really. But I'm glad the well done, Julie. I'm glad the internet speed seems to be surviving though. Right, one left. Don't crash. Oh, look, he crashed into me. I so knew that was going to happen. I so knew that was going to happen. Right. Okay. Yeah. I think, yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago. It was probably about 16, 17, trying to get served in the pub. Amazing times. Amazing times. Yeah. Time sort of like accelerated. The 90s went on forever. Then after we got into the year 2000, it was just blasting away like nobody's business. Balls kaboom. Them aliens are super smart. You're quite right. They are super smart, this mob. Kaboom. Right. Let's get out of here. Yeah. Right. So we'll load another game after this one. If it displays wrongly again, maybe I'll. It might be just Stella's loaded wrongly because I seem to remember testing it didn't happen before. It might be just this game. So if it displays wrong before, I'll take Stella off. It will still be online in the live stream, and then I'll come back again. So I want to look at a tennis game, which when I reviewed, I was absolutely hopeless at. It's Tennis by Activision in 1981. Did you have that game? Let me know. Right, there's no aliens in that tennis game. This is going round and round and round in circles. Going round and round in circles. Right. Let's get kabooming. Right, okay. Do you want to see the tennis game straight away, or can you cope with this not displaying properly? Let me know. Right. Great sound effects in this one. You're quite right, Julie. There's only 3 controls in this at a time where there weren't any controls at all. Just left, right, and shoot, really. So just avoid stuff and the stuff coming at you like crazy aliens. What I like on this one is, of course, the aliens have multicolours, which the Atari 2600 was brilliant at doing. Kung Fu Master. I need to make a note of that then as well, Dave, to have a look at. Kaboom. Right. Oh man, yeah, we knew that was going to happen, didn't we? We knew that was going to happen. I played Galaxian on the ZX Spectrum, but it's completely different to this. Completely different. Those were the big ones, weren't they? This one and Space Invaders from the arcades. Yeah, they don't hold back, these aliens. They come at you super duper first. Right, 3 left, 2 left. Let's take that out. Right, that's taken them out. And it's always the same. It's always the same group of aliens each time, isn't it? Really, they get more advanced or quicker. They just keep coming down the screen, so you can't destroy this alien invasion fleet. They're always going to be coming at you forever and ever and ever. But even so, it's the sounds. The sounds of the Atari 2600 get me all the time. I mean, my favourite ones are in Enduro. But they're so earthly and deep and full of effects, absolutely amazing. The ZX Spectrum had a sound of its own, not saying it's worse or better, but it's just a different sound. And these sounds really seem to reverberate through your whole body. And being a kid, you would have just loved it. Okay, so let's load something else then and see if that displays incorrectly or not. Okay. Oakley dokley, but seems okay on my side here on this bit. So let's have a go at tennis. Now, when I reviewed this before, I couldn't win a single point. I really couldn't. So we'll see if anything's changed here. How's that displaying? I think you can see the whole court. So it did look like it was just Galaxian that was having a problem. You control 2 stickmen. Oh, well, you control 1 stickman really. I'm that pink one up the top. You can do 2-player as well. There is no court markings on this one, so you don't necessarily do a serve. And depending on how near or far you are, that just depends how you hit it. So that's quite wide. Oh man, this guy is really good. I seem to rush the net too quickly. Oh, he hits back everything. I don't think I've ever won a single point off this guy. What do you have to do to beat him? Have you ever won a game against this guy? Let's go back here. You're going to get some awesome rallies on this, and it's going to go on forever. I think it's probably best in 2 players, really. Right, okay. Let's look like I'm going to do it, then I'll do it that way. Oh, man. Right, okay. Okay, my aim on this one is to win a single point, because this guy down the bottom here is absolutely fantastic. But this is, on any 8-bits tennis game, I wasn't particularly good. Match point on the ZX Spectrum I weren't very good at, but I'll stay on the baseline then. Ooh. Now notice how the court is a pink side and a blue side with your character. He's not missing at all, is he? He certainly can hit a square ball like nobody else. This is by Activision in 1981. After my service, I will be down the bottom of the screen. You can't play doubles in this, so it's just you against the computer, or you against a friend if you can find one. Oh, can't do lob. So he's won that game. It's the first to 6. He's now at the top. I was trying to do a passing shot then. How quick does he move? He's like a modern day someone or other. Now, quite often in tennis games, you'll find a shot that works, and then you'll keep returning to that shot because you keep doing it. Just don't go juice. Look at that. See, that was unfair. Where's he serving that thing? Yeah, you've got to be 2 shots ahead. Oh. I mean, I'm quite confident. No matter how long I play this game, I'll never actually beat him. Right. Maybe if I run up like that. He doesn't. The ball's bouncing on its own. Here we go. Oh, that didn't fool him. Right, I'm in the net now. Surely I must win. I've got the net. Oh, I didn't win. I mean, right. Okay, let's run this side. He thinks I've gone home, but I haven't gone home. I've gone here, hit. I've won a point. Nick's won a point. Well, that's the first time that's ever happened. You cannot be serious. Yeah, right. I've won. At least I've won a point. My life is complete. Oh, I've won another point. I'm making a habit of it now. Perhaps I gave up too early. Right, so let's go here. Pretend that I've gone for a Kit Kat or something. Right. Oh, dear. Right, okay, so 30 all. I could possibly win a game here. So he is... oh, he... I thought I was doing well. He gave me a couple of points, maybe. Go wide. Push him wide. Yeah, that's the shot. Juice. Good, right. Don't rush the net, Dick. I just got to push him wide somehow. It's tough playing with a square tennis ball. Oh, this is getting intense now. I once went to a music festival. That was intense as well. Right, someone said don't go to juice. So I've got it to advantage. Come on, Nick. You can win a game. You can win a game. It seems to be that is his weakness. That's the shot we need to go through down that side if we're going to do it. Oh, now I know Wimbledon wasn't on this year due to coronavirus, so you can say that you watched this as well. Instead, yay! Right, I've won a game. Well, things are looking up then. Suddenly things have got good. Oh, net. Whenever I go to the net, that seems to be disastrous. Yeah, Stickman. My favourite Stickman I've seen so far on the Atari 2600 games is on Berserk. I love that with the robots. But the robots don't show up here. There's only one court, and that's green. There's no clay courts or anything. 30 love. It's the first to 6, remember, so this is not going to go on a great deal of time. But at least I've won a game. As I immediately run out of the way of the ball. Right, 4, was it 3-1? 3-1, right. 3-1, 3-1. He's halfway there. I'll let that ball bounce on its own. He wonders what's going on. He might have his finger off the pulse there. Oh, look. Come on, right. It doesn't matter what side of the court I serve it on. I can serve it that side or that side. Have you ever played tennis with a square ball? Let me know. Was it like this? Right, I've rushed the net again, which could be a problem. Oh, look at that. He hits everything at the net. Everything at the net, this fella. Right. This didn't have... I was going to say this didn't have a sequel. It might have had a sequel. I'm not sure about that. It might have had a sequel. I know there's a few other tennis games on the Atari 2600. Right. Surely. Oh, how many times I've got to win this point? You know, he's just ridiculously good, isn't he? He's just ridiculously good this. So it's love 40. He hardly ever misses. You're right, Dave. He hardly ever misses. Good, right? Oh, 4-1. 4-1, 4-1. So it's all about seeing, because I'm trying to grow this channel, it's all about seeing what's popular, what works the best here. So I do look at what's happening. We might do some Atari 2600s next week if this goes well. It's going okay. It's going okay. The internet speed seems to be okay from what you're telling me. I like to mix it up a bit. Mix it up a bit. Oh, look at that. I won. How did I do that? Did I do a drop shot or something? Right, so it's love 15. Oh dear, 15-all. That was shortly lived. Whoops. Okay. Oh man. So we looked at fast food. We looked at briefly Galaxians, which didn't display properly. Oh, that's a good shot. Good stuff. No lag at all. Well, there we go. Possibly there might be less information then travelling through the tubes on the Atari 2600. That bodes well. 2 great shots by me. Right, is this match point? No, it's not match point. It's game point. Let's not get carried away here. Right. He must miss eventually. He must have a bad run. He can't continue this all the time. The amount of kids that would have... that's the shot. Right, I've won 2 games. 4 games to 2. Now it's my serve. What could possibly go wrong? Miss Marple and the mysterious bouncing ball. That's right. I've dragged him to the net here. I don't think I need to do net play. Yeah, that is the shot, isn't it? That's the shot. So I've worked out what the best shot is. I just need to keep doing it. Rush into the net. Dangerous. I don't think I've won any net things so far, have I? It's best to get it from the... yeah, it's best to get it from here. That's the one. Oh, he got it back. Didn't think he was going to get that back. Oh, look, he seems to have learnt that winning shot now. How many shots has this rally been? Well, that ends that. Good. 30 love. Which way am I going to serve it? He doesn't know. That way. But interesting game of tennis where it doesn't matter what side of the court you serve it to. That would confuse a lot of people. And it'd make it easier to win your serve, wouldn't it, really? Yeah. A game I haven't reviewed this, but a game I reviewed a lot tennis-wise on the Commodore Amiga was a game called Tennis Cup there. And also, I think there's something by Ubisoft. It might have been Great Courts or International Tennis, I think. That was quite good. Right. The machine, like I need 1 more point to win this game. But you're quite right. He does seem to be learning. Oh no, 30-40. Right, he's going to get it to juice, is he? He moves quite fast. He knows when to come into the net and when to stay away. And he's, you know, normally on a grass court, if you're in at the net, you're gonna win, aren't you? But not him. Oh. Come on, we've got to pull that shot out of the bag. This is exciting stuff, isn't it? I think, yes. Good. 3 games to 4. So we're on a comeback trail now. Pity I started so badly. Oops. Oh dear. Don't go into the net. Now, I don't know if this guy's pink because he's got no clothes on. That was unfair. But he certainly needs some shorts on. And the other bloke's blue because it's quite cold. Good shot, Nick. I find it harder up the top than when I'm down the bottom here. Right, let's see if we can win a net point for a change. Come on. Oh, dearie me. He knows exactly what I'm going to do. He knows exactly what I'm going to do. Oh, what a return of serve that was. Great return of service. Oh, look at that. I was standing on the other side of the court. Right, so if I don't win this one, he's going to win the game. Which, you know, might be a relief. I mean, these games, remember, you would have played them. I would have played this quite a lot as a kid. It does move quite fast. But I want to be down the bottom of the screen. Come on, do or die. Look at this. I'm like on a conveyor belt. Oh man, I so knew that was going to end like that for sure. Right, so I don't think there'll be too many Atari 2600 streams online tonight. Good luck if you're trying to find them. But people that were trying to find them, here's one. Well done. And I haven't got thrashed at all. I've got a number of games. But I think he only needs to win one game, doesn't he? And then it's game over. And then we'll look at something else. Good. So, yeah, it looks like it's displaying okay from the displays I can see there. I think Galaxian just particularly was using more of the screen. Maybe I had that in, well, I tend to play in power mode. Perhaps that was a different mode. Was it NTSC it's called? Maybe that's what was happening. That could well be it. I mean, if you're counting this rally, how long is this going? Yeah. This is a good game, really. I'm thinking for a long time I couldn't hit the ball back. Then I was a bit rubbish at it. And then I won no games at all. But this time, you can see it's a bit of a challenge, this. So once you start winning games, it is going to get rather addictive. You can imagine how much fun you'd have in two player as well, couldn't you? Right, so I got the point there, did I? Right, at last. I want to do a smash. Come on, he can't beat me on... Oh dear, I've got out the way. Right, okay, right. Wait round here. Ball's bouncing its own. The Miss Marple thing. Here we go. Clobber. Clobbered it back. Sometimes I think the ball's going to go out of play here. I think this is the first time I've played a tennis game on a live stream on any system. Well, I say any system. We've only been doing the ZX Spectrum, haven't we? But I'm sure there's one we can do on the Commodore 64 as well. An idea for a long stream could be a golf game, maybe leaderboard on the ZX Spectrum, possibly. Din. So it's 6-3. He won that game. So, you know, I didn't get thrashed. I won 3 games, and I didn't think I was really going to win any. That was quite good going, wasn't it? That was good going indeedy. Good stuff. Good stuff. So we're zipping through the games here. Hope you're loving this bonus stream that I'm doing. People that own the Atari 2600 or just want a bit of de-stressing silliness to go on. Tom, yeah, Pong on the Spectrum was good. I think I've got that in the list to have a look at some point, but I haven't quite got to it. Of course, the Formula One started again, so let's have a look at Grand Prix. Now, on this game, you're just going through an assault course, I think. I think this fits on the screen as well. And I think there's 4 courses on this one you can do. It's by Activision in 1982. It's another early one. Designed by David Crane, I think. So it's time trial over 4 different tracks. Now, hopefully I can remember what the controls are. But I think it's basically that. So this game might be a little bit loud. It's one of those ones, or it might be just about okay. So you see... the time is ticking down, well, up in the bottom. So really, it's one of those ones as a kid where you're just going to write down what your fastest time is and see if it's going to be better than all of your friends for next time. That's right, so accelerate through. Good, thanks Tom. Good stuff. Right, it is same sounds as Enduro, isn't it, really? Whoa. Slow down. So it's always going to be a straight track, I think. It's never going to bend around. It is very similar to sounds to Enduro. It might even be identical. So hopefully it isn't too loud for you, but we did sort out the sounds last week, which I made a note of, but you never know. Stuff does odd things in the mixture, doesn't it? So try and get your best time. You can crash as many times as you want. Obviously that's going to slow down. If you was in a Formula One team and you was my driver, I wouldn't say crash as many times as you want. Oops, there's a bit of oil there which you can slide on. So there's the finishing line. So normally as a kid, because it don't save it, you'd write that down, 1 minute 3.06, and then see if any of your mates can actually beat that time. The cars don't weave, you're quite right, Gumjo. It's almost like they're on rails. Okay, so let's have another go on it. So 1 minute 3.06. It's not saving it anywhere, so we're just trying to beat it. Thanks, Julie, that the sound level is okay. It is enduro. That's a good observation, Dave. It is enduro, a different sound, but there's no day cycle on this one. Oh, that's a good bit of overtaking, and the view rate's not particularly great. I'm glad that this is fitting on the screen there. I can see already. So it might be worth me having a go at Space Invaders to see if that has a similar problem to Galaxian. Maybe I just need to look at a different version. 1 minute 06 to beat. Oh dear, was it 1 minute 03? See, I haven't written it down, so I don't really know. Right, I don't know what car this is. It's like another era, isn't it? It's like something that Graham Hill would drive, or John Surtees, or Mike Hawthorne, if you know any of those names. Good. Right, the cars don't weave at all. There are different modes for this field. We'll go through them after this game. So 58.75. Now, you go through the different modes by pressing F1. You can see down the bottom there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, we'll go to mode 2 then, and we'll see what difference that makes. I haven't got the instructions to this, so we'll just have to try and do it visually, what difference that makes. Okay, right. The same controls again. I think there's bridges on this one. It does look very similar first of all. We'll go through all of them. We'll do 2, and then we're doing 2 at the moment. Then we'll do 3 and 4. But yeah, nice brightly coloured cars in this one. As I say, if I had it back in the day, bearing in mind it was 1982, I think I would have played it a little bit. The same sort of style as I would have done Enduro. I would have preferred Enduro a little bit over this one. It's you know, good to see. Also, okay. Right, so we've been going about half an hour on the stream. It seems like it's holding up quite well there, which is great. This is moving quite fast, isn't it, this game? Quite fast. Up we go. If you're enjoying watching the channel and you haven't already, I think looking at you, everyone in the chat there, you're already subscribers, so thank you. But if anyone's watching and you're not a subscriber, or you're watching this from the archives, please consider doing so, because it does help me in the search, I think, the YouTube algorithm. Oh look, there's a bridge. As I was saying, it does help me in the algorithm, makes the channel look popular, because competition is absolutely intense. There's new channels growing up every day. Some only stay for a few months and then disappear, but because it's continuous, it's very hard to get noticed above all of that. So it's you know, I'm putting in the videos, I'm putting in the live streams, so I'm doing all the right things. Hopefully the YouTube gods will smile at me at some point. Whoa, clobber. Yeah, graphics are good, aren't they? Large sprites. I think Mode 2 has got more traffic than Mode 1, and the stage is a bit longer because we had that bridge in there, didn't we? Well, as well. Right. Okay. Get around him. Good stuff. Good stuff. So thank you to everyone also on the original stream early on, the ZX Spectrum stream, have done the super chats. That guides me a little bit where the traffic is, what time to do these, what systems to cover. So we'll look at the stats and see what's best. So that's stage 1 and 2, well, modes 1 and 2. We might as well do all of them, mightn't we? It's only us here and the internet. Who's to say that we can't do? Yep, it is good feel that you don't explode when you hit the other cars. So many games where that does happen. In particular, Gridstar on the Commodore Amiga. That was quite big like that, wasn't it, really? So there we go. I don't know. I don't know how much the cartridges were on the Atari. The ET was free, of course, because you could dig that up from landfill. But the less said about that, the better. I must come to ET at some point just to see how bad that was. So, this is mode 3. I think the modes just dictate how long the stages are each time. So 1 was quite short, 2 we had a bridge in it, this might have a couple of bridges, and I think that's the only real difference, I think. So, you know, it's accelerate and then decelerate, and that's pretty much it, and up and down. It does increase your reflexes, this one. It does improve your reflexes. If you're interested, I did mention the Commodore 64 stream that we're going to have a possible look at on Wednesday, like a test stream, and we'll get things running. The games I've got running so far, which we're going to have a look at, is I'm trying to think now. Buggy Boy, that was definitely one of them. Space Taxi, that was another one. I won't be able to remember them now. But that was 2 of them, and I love those games pretty much. Not Jack and the Beanstalk, that is for sure. Right. Great Giant Assist, I think that was one, which had quite grating sound at the start there. Apparently they dug up the ET games. Is that true? Yeah, I think it is true, isn't it? I think there might have been some other games that they done as well. I mean, it'd be good to get Commando working on the Commodore 64. That'd be a good one to have a look at too. There's Aquaplane, this is what I mentioned on the Spectrum stream. I've got that working. Yeah, so we'll jump in for about an hour, see what the interest there is. Possibly at some point on a Wednesday. Might schedule it in, I might not, but still a little bit of work to do there. But I'd like to do that. I think I've got Spinball and Spinball 2 as well. I think so. Hello, you old gamer Steve. Your favourite Amiga Atari 2006 games were Superman and Laser Blast. Yeah, okay, I'll have to track those ones down then, and possibly we'll look at those in a future stream. Superman and Laser Blast. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. I did review Superman on the Mega Drive. That's a completely different game. It wasn't particularly good, but it'd be good to see a good Superman game. And if it's one of your favourites, well, it'd be rude not to cover it. Yeah. Yeah, Spinball 2 and Spinball. I have got those working on the Commodore 64. So yeah, it'd be good to maybe look at those live streams. It's those games which last a long time, isn't it? That we could possibly spend the whole stream on those. So maybe it's one for a blundering for those Spinball fans out there. Right, past those. But this is a really long stage, isn't it? Really. So the only other stage. So that was 2 minutes 36. So the only other mode we've got is mode 4, and it's going to be a long one, but we should do that. Let's do that. Hopefully it's not going on for 6 years. Yeah, thanks, Dave. I mean, I want to get as many people as watching as possible. Spectrum One has proved very, very popular. I know some people are really into Commodore 64 and just don't look at the Spectrum as a point of course. And there's a lot of people, myself included, that look at both of them. So it'd be good to see that other crowd as well. Give them something to watch too. So that'll be quite good. So this is mode 4. As I say, this game's all about writing down your quickest times, really. Okay. So yeah, I know you, Dave, would like it. Anyone else in the stream would like to see Commodore 64? I know it's a bit bad asking people that have clicked on an Atari 2600 thing. It might not necessarily get all the crowd that's looking for that sort of stuff. But, you know, in theory, and that's what testing is all about, really. I didn't really know how many people would watch this till we tested it. I know a few people have said they wouldn't mind seeing NES games. Well, I haven't reviewed any NES games, but potentially it's something I can look at. So you want that? Thanks, Lewis. Thanks, Kona Baggy. So yeah, so Wednesday we'll aim at doing a test stream then. Might be 8 o'clock maybe. Pencil it in there. It seems like a good time to test stuff. Internet permitting. Yeah. So I'm at a point now where I'm almost calling myself a live streamer, which is quite good. Nick's a live streamer. Hooray! One man and his droid. Yeah, thanks, Dazzy. I mean, that's the ultimate aim. I need to upgrade my internet to play those 16-bit games, but that's my ultimate aim. There's so many good Amiga games I could stream. There's Kickoff 2, Sensible Soccer, Speedball 2, Stunt Car Racer. There's a lot of them I could have really a lot of fun with. Really a lot of fun with those. But yeah, I don't think we do any quick ones. I'd have to do save some snapshots so we can leak. Oh, that can't turn up quick. We'd have to save some snapshots so I'm jumping straight in the game. We haven't got to wait for them to load. That's the one thing, but that's doable. That is certainly doable. I'd like to step into a few PlayStation games as well, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. One step at a time. A boy and his blob on the NES. Okay. I'd like to see me blunder that. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's all about checking my finances, really, seeing what's possible, how much time I can do for certain stuff. It's a very fine balancing act, and that's why I'm really pleased that people that have done the super chats there historically and the memberships as well. Cool, I'm learning all this sort of stuff. Good stuff. Okay, right. Cool, this is a long sort of stage, isn't it? Right. Thanks, Dave. Oh, look at these blue cars. They're all from different teams. Crash Team Racing on the PS1. Yeah, that'd be quite a good game. I'm just trying to think what I've got. I've got quite a few racing games. I've got Roll Cage, which was mentioned earlier on. That'd be quite good. I'll be hopeless doing it in 360p though at the moment, which I've got there. I've got Sound Capture Elgato, which we can do. Unless OBS can. No, OBS wouldn't be able to capture it, which I'm using now. We have to do Elgato. Another bridge. Good. And it's at that point, which I like to do before, then I can get a picture on the screen where you can actually see me talking, playing the game as well, but to increase the interaction, which is different from the pre-recorded stuff, I suppose, as well. Right, round the cars we go. So we're about 3/4 of an hour into this. Shall we go for an hour, or shall we go for a bit longer? How many of you are in the stream that want this to go a little bit longer? Right, yeah, I'd love to play Wipeout, Tom. Again, it's getting the internet a bit better. I've got that on the PlayStation 1. Although it's still in the cellophane. I've still got it in PS4. I've got it on the PS4, but I've got it on the PS1 unwrapped. Used to play that a bit longer. Longer and longer. Okay, well, 3 minutes 22.80. So that's a good time. So we'll have one last go on this on stage 4. See if I can beat 3:22.8. And then we might have a go. It's quite relaxing actually. You might have a go at video pinball. Pinball, rightio. So I don't want to tire myself out because we've got streams to do tomorrow. I mean, they're all good ones. A SNES live stream will be outstanding as well. Looking at F-Zero and all those sorts of ones. What about Nintendo 64? I'm trying to gauge how popular these are at the moment. There's a few people that like them a lot, and some people are a bit nonplussed. But I just judge it really. But I'll soon know, of course, once I've upgraded the internet. At some point, if I do a Nintendo 64 stream and no one watches, then I'll know. Or there's no super chats or anything. Then I think, yeah, that's as popular as being hit on the head with a saucepan, which isn't very popular at all. Whoa. Commodore 64 did have a high-res mode, but it's underused. Okay, that's interesting. I did not know that. I mean, I was surprised on the Commodore 64 when I first played the Great Giant Sisters how close it was to the Amiga version. And I think it's just because the Amiga version could have done a bit more, though the playability of that was absolutely superb. But later they did, I have reviewed it, they did an enhanced version of the Great Giant Sisters, which, I still prefer the original, although it's not technically advanced as that one. Okay. Tomorrow, what's it? It's Monday today, isn't it? I keep forgetting. So there won't be anything going live on the channel tomorrow, but there will be a couple of live streams. If you like your Atari 2600 or Spectrum, there's quite a lot reviewed now, so if you want to check out the reviewed playlist, then do so. Okay. Okay, cool stuff. I mean, I enjoyed playing, haven't done too many so far, I enjoyed playing that Star Wars game, the Pod Racer one, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, but I was always going to like racing games, wasn't I? I was always going to like them. Right, let's go. I think I need to look at, some of the Mario games as well. What did I have to beat on this 320 something? I think that was the sort of right time, wasn't it? Okay, so keep going there. Good. Right, longer. Yeah, I think I did have the seals for right, but I mean I used to play Roll Cage to death on the PlayStation 1. I love Roll Cage 2 as well. That was quite good going. Whoops. I had no chance there. 4 cars line by line there. Like a toboggan going down like a ski run. Woo. Can you imagine 1982? This is probably your best racing game. I was just trying to think of Spectrum ones to compete with this. There was Checkered Flag, wasn't there? Pole Position, I don't know when that came out. Sonic Spinball, that's a great pinball game. I'd love to look at that on the Mega Drive. Yeah. There we go. I used to play, haven't reviewed one for quite some time. I used to look at the Game Boy Advance. That's the system I used to carry around with me for a lot of time, but it's almost impossible to live stream that one. And then I didn't quite like, I liked PS Vita, but didn't quite like it quite as much. Yeah. God, is that how old those videos are now, Phil? 11 years. I wasn't doing any of the talkies then, was I? I think that was just an opportunist upload. But I wish I had done, because then the channel would have been a lot bigger by then. I think it's when people didn't really appreciate the potential that YouTube was going to have about 11 years ago. Good. I'll tell you what, another be good to do as well is the new tracks on Stunt Car Racer. That would be a good live stream on the Amiga as well. Okay. So yeah, I think we can fit in. Let's fit in a bit of video pinball, because that's nice to relax. It's not the most advanced game in the world, that is definitely for sure. But if you're used to playing other pinball games, then you're gonna get a little bit of a buzz out of this one. There's the table, and it all fits in again. So yeah, I mean, it was just Galaxians, wasn't it? It was just Galaxians. Tom says, how long have you made videos for? Well, I did just put up footage first of all, and then there was then I left it, a bit disillusioned. And then there was a reboot, I think about 7 years ago I've been making videos, and no one was really watching them at the beginning. So it's been a bit of a labour of love. And it's gradually picked up really, really slowly. But as I say, it is quite tough because you get quite a lot of channels that are fabricating their views and their subscriber counts. So you'll get one that's just about 6 months old or something like that, and they've got a subscriber count of 5,000, which really it takes longer to get to. And then people watch that and think that's essentially a better channel than mine, because that's the way people think. But you know, it's tough going. But I want to do it sensible. I'm not tempted to cheat in any way. But anyway, there we go. And the problem is there's quite a lot of channels like that one. Like those ones where they haven't got many videos actually up on their channel. I don't want this to turn into a rant, because it isn't. They've got hardly any videos up on their channel, but they've got these huge counts and huge viewers, and it's not quite right. But anyway, I'm hoping at one point YouTube clamps down on that, but whether they actually will or not, I very much doubt it. Right, here we go. But you know, slow's always the way if you can stay alive long enough, because just like you lot in the comment section, you get much more reward from it, because, you know, and people are here genuinely, not because of some big con. Right, so let's keep the ball going. We need to get those numbers up as high as we possibly can. There we go. There we go. Let's go there. Right, try and get that in the free. People do like drama, that is quite true. That is quite true. I did think about changing the channel for quite some time, but then I'm not going to, because then if I call it Nick Retro, it just falls into a lot of other things as well. I don't want to create a character or anything like that. I was thinking like shops that are already there. Argos. I mean, the shop Argos, that doesn't mean anything, but everyone knows what Argos is. And it gets to a point that once the channel is known, everyone's going to know what Njenkin means, and there we go, and it won't be mixed up with anything else. And also as well, it's quite hard to find, rather than typing in something like Retro Super Duper Super Guy or something like that, and then 10 other channels come up and you never can find them again. So there we go. But you know, who knows? Who knows? There's arguments for lots of stuff if we try and control this big square blue ball. Right, okay. People like drama. That's a very odd. I've never known a pinball table that goes like this, but it's a wide body table, one could say. I do like seeing these early pinball tables, and I think this is the earliest one I've ever actually seen. It is pretty early, isn't it? Okay. Right. Oops. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I mean, it's all in with the logoing and all that sort of stuff, really. Yeah. Yeah, that would help, Phil, if they could actually do that. But it's essentially my name, really. I'll keep it like that. And there's a few channels that go that sort of way, and I think it makes it less sterile as well. So you're actually talking to a real person. Am I a real person? I'm not quite sure. Sometimes I work so hard I forget that if I am a real person or not. But I'm sure I must be. Right. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Right, but you can't argue. I'm certainly putting in the work. What will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Que sera, sera. But yeah, I haven't even looked at Twitch yet. People are suggesting to stream on Twitch also might be a good way forward. As soon as I can fit in the time, I will do. It's all about getting down to my to-do list, because there's always more on the to-do list than I've got time to actually cover. Just when I think I've got to the point, there's other stuff to do as well. Cool, that's moving around pretty fast, isn't it? It's like we're in a washing machine or something. Right. Okay, so we've got the numbers up on the pinball table at least. If you've had this one today, let me know. It's well worth a find. I could be an alien. I could be. I mean, I could do quite a lot. I could accomplish all the things I want to accomplish if I wasn't didn't have to sleep, which is worth configuring. But you know, you have to look at those. Thanks, Dave. Really generous there. Thank you, because I do look at the totals at the end, and that dictates what I'm going to do next there, and what I'm going to spend most time to. So thanks for that again. Thank you very much. I'm just looking at that sticker. It's a hippo saying 1 up. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, too many consoles, too many games. You're quite right, Dazzy. You're quite right. Yeah, I think has Ninja come to YouTube? And I'm sure he does quite a lot of the modern games as well, doesn't he? I mean, maybe I should do some modern ones as well. But He's quite a bit younger than me and has got a cool hairdo. But I could wear when I got my picture-in-picture, I could wear all my cool hats and put a suit on. And I could wear a snazzy costume. That's good. I'm insane enough to carry it off. I mean, what I'm learning is live streaming is all about, well, just talking, like being by some crazy DJ or something like that. And also as well seeing what you're talking about as well. I think on the more active games, it's quite hard to see the comment section going down. On these Atari 2600 ones, it's quite good. I mean, I could probably be... I'm saying this, so it might not be true. I could probably be one of the first ones that covers a game range from Atari 2600 and Spectrum down to PlayStation 4. What do you think? Yeah, there we go. Right, have I got one ball left? It's not a health problem. Right, I can't seem to be doing the... perhaps I've run out of balls. Let's restart again. I did run out of balls, that's what it is. I was wondering why the plunger didn't work, but it was because I'd run out of balls. Right. I think on this, where's that going? I think the ball's drained. That wasn't fair. I was thinking, I don't think the table changes any colours on this. If you've played it quite a lot and it does, then let me know. But I've never seen it. I've never seen it change colours. Yeah. Yeah. How am I going to fit that in shot if I wear all my hats at the same time, Tom? Yeah. Catherine Jenkins. Well, that's interesting. Always here. Maybe I should team up with Catherine Jenkins. She could sing the channel's theme music if there is ever going to be any. I'll get her working with Igor the Thunder Dwarf, and that'd be a match made in heaven. Oh, that was a flash. Oh, look at that ball drain again. So it is possible to get some ball drains there. If I got a shout out from PewDiePie, I feel like that'll be it. That'll be it straight away, because he could seriously put up a video of him blowing his nose or just saying the word antelope, and it would get 500,000 views within about 10 minutes, or maybe even less. You know, so you know you've made it when that's happened, don't you? Really? But there we go. Change my name to Catherine. That could work. Right. Let's have a few more. Let's have a few more goes on this. I'm getting a nice feeling from this square ball and all. With Pinball, regardless of the table, sometimes you get into a nice run of it. Sometimes it gets a little bit tricky. Don't there? Ooh. Thanks, Chona Baggy. Thank you very much, sir. I know you're a member as well, so thank you for your help and support there. Yeah. So yeah, we will do some looking at this. We will do some more than Atari 2600 streams. This is coming up to the hour mark. You seem to report there's no real serious lags as I look at that cat sticker. Excellent. So, you know, maybe we'll chuck in this time a few more. I think someone mentioned before that Rampage wasn't quite as good on the Atari 2600 than it was on other systems. Maybe we'll have a look at that as well after this one, and then just see how it goes. Other ones on the potential list were, well, two good games actually. Were Beam Raider and Empire Strikes Back. That's good then. That's good, because I think maybe the football's finished then. I think it was due to finish at 10 o'clock, wasn't it? I think. Yeah. Okay. There we go. But, you know, I try and keep this pleasant, and I think you're quite right. I've seen your comment, Catherine. I've read that then. You're quite right what you say. But if people are controversial, they tend to get, unfortunately in this world, subscriber counts quite quickly. I don't want to do that. I just want to keep it true, and that's probably my own worst enemy on that. But you know, if it does get to a high number, I know I've done it properly, and that'll be good. You've got to have a little bit of integrity. That's why a few years back, when I was doing, probably about more, no, perhaps slightly less videos than I'm doing at the moment. There's no live streaming. I did have Patreon before, which people were paying to, and then I was unable to do the videos for a while. And then what I did is, which you won't really see a lot of times, is because I was making a lot less videos, I did close the Patreon because I wasn't comfortable with people paying me money for essentially hardly doing anything. So, you know, hopefully that's talked a few volumes about myself and the way I approach these sort of things. But I have seen it. I'm not mentioning any names. I've seen it where people open a Patreon and they're doing quite a bit of videos at that point, and then they don't do hardly anything and they keep the Patreon going. But one could say as well, it's everyone else's personal opinion. People can cancel their donations at any point. So, you know, I don't want to get a bee in my bonnet. Everyone is individual. You're in charge of your own stuff, aren't you, really? But there we go. There we go. Life's pretty random at best, isn't it? There we go. But I'm playing pinball, and we've got a lot of ones around the screen. Yeah. Right. So we'll keep this ball in as long as possible. Then we'll jump into Rampage. We might end it there, or we might keep going a little bit longer. Right. Oops. Boom, boom. Got any balls left? Yes. I keep wanting to do. Whenever I say I've got any balls left, I keep meaning to do that obvious joke. I think you know what the joke is. Right. The table stays this blue mauvey colour the whole sort of like time. But yeah, kids today probably, not all kids are the same, probably wouldn't stay with this game for any great length of time. When you look at this compared to the stuff that Zen Studios are now producing on the PlayStation 4, so check out the PlayStation 4, check out the Pinball playlist if you haven't already, and just compare it to this. I think this game is in the Pinball playlist, but then amongst all the other stuff, yeah. Oh, is that right, Dave? Oh dear. Well done, Southampton. Okay, well, as I said, I can't talk because, as I said before, I'm not sure it's on this stream or another one. I support Southend United, and that's been terrible for some sort of like time, I think. Boom. I think this is the last ball. The last ball. Yeah. Right. Okay. I think Southend only finished ahead of one team in the league, and that was Bolton, to go all football-y on you. And the only reason Bolton finished that low is because they got docked 10 or 12 points because some sort of irregularity or something. So they would have come last otherwise, and Bolton did get a little bit close. That is for sure. Now, can the ball get stuck there? Boing. I'm very interested in when they try and program ball physics on different systems, in particular Pinball. On the ZX Spectrum, there's a few other ones as well, like Marble Madness and Spin Dizzy. There's not much to this, really, is there? It's just someone programming a ball to rebound. I'm not quite sure how much this would have been back in the day, but you know, nice. I think I spent the longest on this game, haven't I, during this live stream? So we looked at Fast Food from 1982, Galaxian, which didn't quite fit on the screen, from 83. That tennis game, we had some good rallies on that one from 1981, so that's really, really early. Is that one of the earliest Atari games? And then that Grand Prix game, which is essentially a time trial from 1982. Now we're looking at Video Pinball. Oh no, 1980 this one, so this is the earliest game I've looked at. I can't recall if there's any there from 1979. What's your favourite pinball games? Well, Tom, that's a good question. I think my favourite ones are the movie-based ones on the on Zen Studios PS4. Jaws is a good one. I like the Back to the Future games, and I like the remakes of the original ones. I think Attack from Mars was pretty good as well. So yeah, it's a bit of pinball for you, so we'll come out there. I mean, I can't keep changing my mind what's my favourite one there. There's so many good tables to choose from. So a bit of Rampage then. A bit of rampaging. Now, I'm the only player here, so hopefully I don't put it automatically on two-player, because that'll end quite quickly. Who should we be? We'll be George. I think we'll be George. We'll be George, right. So, we have to demolish lots and lots of buildings. I'm not quite sure of the keys on this one, but anyway, we have to demolish a lot of buildings by climbing up them. The graphics is quite basic. There we go. So, we also need to avoid... Oh man, this is quite basic. What did I expect? But anyway, we have to avoid being shot by everything else and get off that building before it collapses. So that's done that one. We can destroy that police car there. There's a guy shooting us that's there. So we can take him out, but he's actually disappeared. Some more cool retro sounds on this one. I have played it on the Spectrum, which was quite hard to control. I played it on the Game Boy Advance as well. I think I played it on the Amiga, so avoid getting shot by that. You can jump as well, there we go. So that sometimes gets you out of trouble as well. I haven't quite seen the film yet, Tom. Is it based on a true story? I don't think it is it? But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he made quite a few films quite close together, didn't he? Right, let's get off here, we don't want to go down and collapses. Now, my strength is up the top here. I don't think... Which one is George? He's not the ape, is he? He's not the ape. There's a lizard man. It's not him. I think it's the other one. It's not the lizard. Oops. So we're going across the states, gradually demolishing each town or city. Good. Right. So it come out on a lot of things, this game. Oh dear, I've never played it in the arcades. but you might have come across it on a few things. What's that? I think that's a bit of energy. That's good. So George is the ape. It looks a very funny looking ape. Take that, police car. Does that person want to get rescued? Well, it's too late now. It gets a lot of fun in more than one player, really, this one. Whoops, why can't I smash that? Oops, I'll take that, thank you very much. So it hasn't aged particularly well, has it, this version? One has to say there are better versions available. Oh, there's that car. What's that car? That's a helicopter crashing out. Oops, I've taken a bullet to the head. That's not very friendly. All I'm trying to do is demolish stuff. Looks a cross between Zippy and Bungle again. You're quite right, Dave. I would have that. Yeah. It's a bit like this, but with rock. Okay. Oops. I'm not sure we were supposed to destroy that car that went past, but anyway. I mean, I really liked it on the Game Boy Advance. You want to check that review? We probably reviewed that, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago now. Oh man, folks turned up from the building. Let's jump out here. Oh, that building's like falling down on its own. That helps. I don't know who built that, but there's going to be a lawsuit there. That is for sure. Kaboom, kaboom. Right. I hope you enjoyed those people that were there. I hope you enjoyed the ZX Spectrum stream a bit earlier on. ZX Spectrum games are the things we review most on the channel at the moment, anyway. We will schedule one in, so look out for it in your notifications from 6 to 8 tomorrow. And of course, all being well, we'll do an 8 till 10 ZX Spectrum stream. Interesting to see how many people can make that later stream. We've suddenly gone over 1 hour for this one. I'm glad that things are holding together quite well. Right, what's that? I don't think we need to destroy that. I think that's a tram of some description, but we will die. So this city has made all of pink buildings. Remind me a little bit of that, if you're in the UK, that thing, What's the Story in Balamory, wouldn't you like to know? They had all coloured buildings, didn't they? Yeah. A dizzy blundering series, yeah. With a poker. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, some people don't like me using pokes on the channel. Typically it's someone's quite new to the channel. They think you should play it properly. But, you know, I think I've pretty much been upfront about it right from the start, really. I use the pokes, really, so we can see more of the game and get into it. And really, the gameplay is just an excuse. Although I'm into the retro gaming massively, it's more of an excuse for us to all have a bit of a chat, explore the memories, and ease a bit of stress really without getting too wound up about perfect gameplay. But I think most people understand it. But every so often I'll get someone that doesn't understand it. But there we go. It's not going to change. There's different things for different people, isn't there, really, on YouTube? And if everything was exactly the same, it'd be a little bit boring as I fall off that building. Right. Right, it's going to fall down. I mean, there's some games, don't get me wrong, there's some games where I don't need pokes at all. But if you wanted perfect gameplay, it'll take me so long on a lot of these games, which I've seen for the first or second time, then we'll be in trouble. I generally play it, first of all, without the poke on, to see how far I would have got. I tend to be better at racing games. Oh yeah, I've been shot in the head. This is another pink building. What does that pink level do? Right, off we go up there. Do a bit of jumping. I'm getting quite far on this on my own. My strength there is in the middle there, that brown bar, which you probably have seen. Let's take him out. Not to dinner, because he's shooting at me. When you lose all your strength, you turn into, well, a little person. So I think we've had all experiments done on us, haven't we, really? I mean, I agree with you, Gumdy. I mean, if you saw the Silkworm earlier on, because a lot of these Spectrum games are very, very tough. If you saw the Silkworm early on, we needed a poke there. And without a poke, I just wouldn't be able to review the game, and we'd only be looking at about 30 seconds, which is a bit tough. I think it's okay. If I was in a competition, then no. Or we were doing a speed run, then no. But you know, it's good to see all the stuff you missed out on as a kid, and knowing, is it worth trying to go forward to see later bits of the game. Right. Is there any good fighting games on the Atari 2600, like Double Dragon or any like that? Is there? I don't know. Or Street Fighter, is that on there? I don't suppose it would. Right. There's those helicopters shooting at me again, but it looks like I've got this done. So it's quite a basic premise, this, isn't it, really? Destroy buildings, don't get shot, and get out the way. Yeah, buildings possibly could have had more colour, you're quite right. Now we're in Detroit now. Other games where you're destroying buildings, which isn't quite the same, I suppose, is what was it called? That game where we was on the Spectrum, where we was controlling an aircraft gradually going down, bombing the buildings. I can't remember what that was called now. Was it called City Patrol? Oh no, that's gonna be on me for a while now. Oh, there's a tank going by. That's taking him out. Right, let's get that vial there for a bit of extra energy. Joust. Okay, let's get an eye on there. Joust. Atari Warriors is on the 2600. Well, I did not know that. Cool, my mind boggles now what Atari Warriors is like on this system. Good stuff. I only seem to know a fraction of the games that are available. Oops. Oh dear, he's fallen down like a nincompoop. Is that the first time I've said the word nincompoop in the stream? Well, thank goodness for that. You certainly need the word nincompoop somewhere thereabouts. Right. Oops. Oh man. Oops, there. I've been killed. Do I get another life? Was that it? He wanders off doing the tap dance. Oh look, here I come. Another life. So you get a few lives. That's good to know. Commando was on the Atari 2600 as well. Well, that's interesting. That is interesting. So yeah, I'll have to have a look at those then. Let's have a look at those. I mean, the Atari 2600 is 8-bit. Sometimes I think maybe it's 4-bit. But they do different things with the system. Oh look, I'm being killed like nobody's business here. How many bullets has that person got? Maybe I need to leave these buildings alone for him to get a bit more of a hang of it. Like this building looks like easy pickings. There's massive windows here. There's another 2 helicopter things come across. Yeah. Hi Baz, hope you are well. Yeah, we're doing another live stream. It's a bit of a tester really. We do a lot of experimenting going on. Hi EJ. Yeah, you missed the Z Spectrum. That's okay. I mean, that's the main reason why we're doing a later stream here to try and catch more people. Tomorrow we will be doing a stream from another Spectrum stream from 6 to 8, but I will be doing all being good, one from 8 to 10 as well. So if it takes a while to get home from work or whatever, you've got a chance of catching that. But I do like a bit of Rampage. It's got some good sounds in this one. There we go, so another pink building. 2 guys there, but you're going to start shooting at me, that's for sure. Right. Oh, look at that, I'm taking a lot of bullets here. Didn't rescue that person. That's probably going to be bad karma for me. But yeah, it's another one of those ones where you can play for quite a while. A lot more fun in multiplayer, I would have thought. There's a number of you chopping the buildings at the same time. Take that out. Come on. Oh, no, that's right. That's all right. He's not going to be a problem. Let's leave him be. Energy's not looking particularly good here. I'd love to complete this game, but I just don't know. Oh, no, I just don't know how many buildings you've got to take out. Really, we're not on a time limit, as far as I'm aware. Just to avoid getting shot. That's the main thing. You're working from home from next year? Oh, good. That's good to know. Is that due to the coronavirus or just the things at work? I mean, working from home is a different dynamic. I must say that is for sure. Right, let's go up this building. Oops, more energy. That's handy. Look at that. We're on the smallest of brown slivers there. The smallest of brown slivers. Whoops. Oh, that's it. So we've just got one building to take out, and we've got one last left, or was that it? Oh. The Atari 7800 had 133 cities. Wow, dear. Your kitchen is now the office. Well, there we go. There we go. It's changing times, isn't it? I think due to the coronavirus, a lot of companies have just discovered what was possible as well. But, interaction's good, but, yeah, it's the way it's going, really. It's the way it's going. Don't know what they do. Banks, of course. I don't know what they're doing with data protection then. People are looking at people's accounts from home, but that's something for them to worry about. I'm sure there'll be some stories, won't there? There'll be some stories about data protection and how stuff's leaked out, really. But everyone gets vetted, I guess. Yeah, there we go. It's hard to monitor what people are doing, isn't it, if they're not in the office? Right, that's another few pink buildings. I think on other versions the buildings did change colour quite a bit. Don't seem to be changing colours a great deal on this version. But yeah, they could have done it. They could have done it. I mean, I don't know too much about the Atari 2600 homebrew scene. Do you know much about that? Yeah, it'd be good to see some homebrews there on the channel. There, at the moment we're reviewing one Atari 2600 game every Sunday. We do that and an Amiga one. Hopefully I can keep that going. There's a lot more games there than I've actually remember. Yeah. Yeah. See, yeah, that's right, Dave. I don't know how I'd feel if I phoned up my bank. I don't tend to. If I phoned up my bank and I speak to someone that was in their bedroom and they could see all my accounts and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure you're protected by the bank for all those sort of things, and they see who's logged into what account and who's done what where. So it's all traceable, and the bank will just take liability on it. But always best to check your bank account, I think. Well, on a daily basis, just to see what's happening there. Anything you don't recognise, phone at your bank. Yeah, right. If you can get through, I suppose it's quite a long way to get through nowadays. Oh no. Right. Okay. So, are you ready to go ape? This fella is. Right. Now I'm getting quite conscious that it's late now and there's other people going to sleep here. So we'll see. We'll go a bit further. We was going to go for an hour. We've gone longer than an hour. We might squeeze in another game after this. I think a few of you liked Beam Rider, didn't you? Which I think we're going to review soon on the channel, hopefully. But you can have a decent sized go on this, can't you? They know your details in China anyway. That's quite right, Phil. They did, yeah. Thanks, Dave. There's a great homebrew scene. Get the homebrew game. Go fish. Okay, we'll do. I mean, what I liked, because the ZX Spectrum homebrew scene is the scene I know the most. And what I was most impressed with is the amount that they get out of the computer, way beyond what you thought it could do. And if there's other systems like Atari, there's a similar thing on the Atari 2600 is happening as well. I'd be in heaven looking at all that sort of stuff. It'd be absolutely marvellous. Right, let's have a look at that. Eat that there, eat that there, eat that there. Whoa, good stuff. 113 cities. I won't be seeing that. So there's quite a lot of damage to clear up, isn't there, at the end of this one. Beam Rider, it's got some great sounds on it. Yeah. Spectrum Next version of Warhawk. Oh, excellent. It's great that you've got a Spectrum Next. Yeah. I've got a way of looking at Spectrum Next stuff. Was a subscriber sent me, well, not a Spectrum Next, it was sort of like something a bit clever that he sent me. I need to test that one out, but apparently it's capable of playing the next game, so it'd be good to get something like that up on the channel, because that's very vibrant at the moment, isn't it, the next scene? That'd be great stuff. Right. How's my energy going here? Well, my energy watching this is I'm a bit sleepy, but how's my energy going with this ape person? Right. Just one building to take out. It's not pink, this one. There we go. I do like that jump noise as well. They haven't upgraded the games too much. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. I'd hoping they'd be upgraded, but I still like to see them nonetheless. I mean, it's good, isn't it, when you've seen these systems as a kid but didn't have enough knowledge to program, and you've still got the opportunity to go back later on the same basic system and come up with something quite useful. So I think that's why Nostalgia Plus, these retro gaming just goes on and on and on. And the ZX Spectrum home scene, there's games being created pretty much on a daily basis, really. Yeah, see, that's too much, isn't it, Dave? There's absolutely crazy prices. There's absolutely crazy prices on eBay. But I suppose that's what they think people can get away with. Yeah, I once saw a listing where it's quite expensive. I forgot what the game was now, and it says it's extremely rare. And I did a search for the game. There's about 50 other listings as well. So the game wasn't rare. So I think some people just list all games as extremely rare, don't they? Which who's to say what's extremely rare and what's extremely not? If you do it in the context of the universe, I think it is extremely rare, isn't it? There's only 50 games available out of the whole universe. I don't know how much that works out per kilometre, but quite low. You thought it was an okay price? Well, I'm a bit out of the scene. Shows how much I know. Beep. I don't know how much ET would cost. How much would ET cost? Note to self: get a note in the bag to on the book to look at ET. Is there any apps for your phone that emulates the Atari 2600? That'd be good to look at as well. Oh, I think that's game over. That's game over, dude. So yeah, that was That was what was it? We know what it is, Nicky. That was Rampage. God, I'm getting a bit tired now. That's what it must be. So I think we'll load one more game because you've been so good, and the Snapchats have been there as well to a degree. So thank you there, people that done Snapchats in this one and the previous one also. Not Snapchat. I could call them Snapchats, Super Chats. That's it. God, get your terminology right. So we'll have a look. We'll have a look at a Beam Rider then. Paperback writer. Some great sounds on this one. Right. Hopefully, does that fit in? Yeah, I think that fits into the screen. Now, essentially, you're on top of the Earth, I think, and there's aliens attacking. It's another one where there's some great sounds on this one by Activision in 1983. Yeah, some great sounds on this one. Right, so it's all in waves, and I think it's called Beam Rider because they go down these. They go down these stretches. I reviewed this quite a while ago, but I will be doing a revisit on it at some point. You need to watch out for bonus lives it'll give you at some point. But a great game this, isn't it, really? Hope you're getting a retro buzz from this one if you owned it back in the day. But I think the main people on the scene back then with the games would seem to be Activision or there's an Extra Life. Good. There seems to be Activision and Atari, wasn't there? They seem to be the main two. Were there any other great ones? But this is good. It just got you in a red alert sort of like scenario. Can we shoot that thing up the top? Don't seem like we can do. So that's a bit of out of range at the moment. So it's another one of those ones that survive as long as you can. And I think that's the end of Sector 1. You see the sectors in the middle there. We're now on Sector 2. Sector 2. Right. They're going to fire at me with greater aplomb or greater ferocity from each time. Yeah, there's quite a lot of these games I can look at, isn't there, really? I might have asked this before. How many games were there on the Atari 2600? I suppose if there's homebrews, there's a few more now I can potentially look at. I mean, I do like the game. Oh, I shot an Extra Life then when I shouldn't have done. I do know there's a few games that go in a slightly different direction, like Empire Strikes Back, where that was, I think Empire Strikes Back was the first licensed Star Wars game. You might want to correct me there, but I think that's knowledge I got, and that was from 1982. Try and avoid the asteroid. 2,600 games. There's about 1,000, was there? Well, that's quite a lot. So doing one a week, then I'm not going to run out. That's going to keep me going for some time. When I originally reviewed these games on the channel, it was via a web-based emulator, and I don't think, I didn't know at the time, I don't think it was 100% accurate, and some games didn't work, so we're going to look at the main ones again, probably including this one, and then I'll look at some new ones as well. Yeah, okay. There are 4 Star Wars games on the Atari 2600, is there? I didn't know that. Well, that's something for me to look at as well. So we go to Sector 3. Yeah, so this spaceship is above the Earth, in the Earth's atmosphere, and well, I think we've got to prevent these guys from actually entering the atmosphere and taking over everything. But it's another one of those games, once you get good at it, you could be playing it for quite some time. Kaboom. Take that out. There we go. So I'm not too bad at this one straight away, which I'm quite surprised at. Normally I make a bit of a meal of it. But maybe I'm just good at the basic games. That's the era of gaming I was meant to excel at, meant to play. But it's not like Fortnite, where you have to control about 6 or 7 different controls. That's good. So many of the games aren't great, you say, Dave. Well, Pac-Man wasn't that good, was it? Really, I've reviewed that one. But Junior Pac-Man was good, and Mrs. Pac-Man was good. There's a few that are a bit lazy. I do like it's a Pac-Man clone based on Alien as well. That was quite good. Although a lot of the times the aliens did seem like they were running backwards, I think. Yeah, good stuff. Yes, I would say thank you to the people that have joined me on this stream. It is a lot of it is experimentation to see if doing later ones just get more people and see what the flow like. Say there'll be 2 Spectrum ones tomorrow if you missed me saying that before. And all being well, on Wednesday at some point, possibly 8 o'clock, we'll do a 1-hour Commodore 64 stream. I think that's when things might come alive a bit more as well. Good. Right, okay. So, gotta get into live streaming. I don't know what the most someone's live streamed in a week was. Initially I was doing 2 sessions of 1 hour. Then I did 2 sessions of 2 hours. And then a little bit later, very recently really, I've done 2 sessions of 2 hours and 2 sessions of an hour. And this week it looks like we're going a bit longer than that hour. So anyway, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? The live stream gets my name out there. Kaboom! River Raid, yeah, River Raid. I haven't played River Raid. I did like playing Hero last week when we tested that. So that's something to have another revisit on. Try and get a bit better on. Hero's a good game. I like that one. And of course Berserk was pretty cool as well. Right, we're on Sector 4 already. Let's get through these asteroids. Yeah. I think we might have time to have a quick look at it while it's back. Let's see how we're playing this one. You'd like to see the Master System with you, Dazzy? I mean, I've got the facility to play Master System games because it runs off the same system that I do the Mega Drive stuff. So yeah, I mean, did Spinball come out on the Master System? I'll have a look. I mean, whenever I type in top 10 of a system, it would probably give me them. Generally, systems have got their own games, and then you've got ones that are covered with everything. What about Outrun? Was that out on it? That might be a good one to do a tester on. Try and pencil that in at some point. So potentially yes. BBC Micro. I'm not quite sure about the Micro. Again, I could try and do one. I know Attic Attack come out on that one. So yeah, Elite's on that as well. You mentioned, Dave. So yeah. I do take a note of when you say these things. It's just a question of how many people will then watch it and what's the best way of growing the channel going forward. But potentially, yeah, BBC Micro, the Master System. There's a lot rarer ones, isn't there, which I wouldn't do, like the Jupiter Ace or the Horrid One. There's a ColecoVision as well. I'm not quite sure how that would work. I've never covered Amstrad CPC. I never knew anyone that had one of those computers, but it's just the people I mix around with, I think. But yeah, it's a global thing as well. Whatever you grew up with. But yeah, Master System most definitely. BBC Micro, yeah, possibly as well. Maybe have a look at Attic Attack there. But we'll see what we can do with penciling. It's all about seeing how my time goes. Yeah, people like to explore all systems. Yeah, okay, that's good. I'm up for that. Yeah, a lot of the time I was just doing Spectrum and Amiga. There's an extra life there. Let's get that. Boom. Good. Yeah, we'll try and do it. Right. Okay. Ooh, I must admit though, I think it's because the people that have built up the channel that have grown with the ZX Spectrum stuff is watched the most out of everything. Oh well. The Amiga's probably catch very close with it, up second. Mega Drive's quite a bit far behind. Atari 2600 seems to have started off quite strongly, so that's positive. I'm not sure what the Commodore 64 would do. I'm sure it might be similar to what the Spectrum was doing. It was years ago when I did it, when I had the time there. Alien Crush is good. They're the pinball games, aren't they, on the Mega Drive? I did cover both of those. Yeah, they were quite good games. They were quite good pinball games. Yeah, definitely. There's a few stinker ones there as well. I can't really think of them quite quickly. What was the one with the dinosaurs in? That was okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I played pinball, apart from the stream, of course. Good evening, Lemmy. I hope you're well, sir. We're just going through some Atari 2600 games. Started off with Fast Food there. I think we'll have another go at that one because the sounds of that was pretty cool, wasn't it? Pretty cool. Right. Beep, beep, beep. So we're back in the atmosphere. Right. Okay. We're attacking these aliens. We're in Sector 1. I don't think these ones are firing back with any great power. But it's another one of those Atari 2600 which has got great sound. Great sound. Magnificent sound. Oh, see, what I did there is a cardinal sin where I shot an extra life that was coming down the screen, when really I should have just collected that one. Where's the furthest you got in this game if you had it back in the day? Good. Yeah, thank you to everyone that's joined me on this one. I'm keeping it going for a bit longer. I was a bit dubious what the internet speed was going to be like, but it seems to be holding out okay from what you've actually told me. Can you actually destroy that thing that goes across the top? Yeah. There we go. Would you do Atari 8-bit games? Yeah, potentially. I don't know too much about them, to be honest with you. It's just finding a way to play them there. Right, let's take that out here. All also as well is it's a learning process for me because I know this one a bit. I don't tend to know too much about the game, so if something isn't playing quite right, I won't necessarily know straight away until we actually go live. But anyway, let's go. I think this game goes on forever, doesn't it? I think. Right, there's an extra life. Don't blow it up. Take that. Good. Beep, beep, beep. It was fun. It was fun looking at. Even now, I still learn stuff about the old game. It was fun looking at Jet Set Willy 2 earlier on, and I found a few more rooms that I didn't know existed there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know too much about Atari 8-bit either. I mean, when someone says Atari 8-bit, I just group all the systems together: the 2600, 5000, whatever it is, and the 7800. I'm a little bit ignorant of them, so I need to do a bit of research. Right, Sector 3. But BBC Micro, I know that. I know that one, and Master, I know that. The Game Gear, I've got facility to look at that as well. But, you know, I'm not sure that I want to. Did you see that Game Gear Micro that is being produced? I talked about it on one of the Friday chats there, where they're re-releasing a micro version of the Game Gear, where the screen that you're viewing is only about an inch, 1.1 inches wide or something like that. I mean, you just wouldn't be able to see it, would you? You just would not be able to see it, and I don't quite understand why anyone would want to buy that. We're stepping up to red alert here. Yeah. Whoa. So, yeah, it sounds like I've got quite a few games to look at there on the Atari 2600. Sounds like there's a fair degree of stinkers as well. Fast food, you might have missed that if you turned up late here. Fast food was there wasn't much to that, but I quite liked it in a certain way. You have to eat all the fast food and avoid all the pickles. Yeah. Okay. Right, here we go. Yeah, it wasn't April the 1st. No. Okay. I feel sorry for people that were born on April the 1st, but I suppose some people must be. Yeah. What can you do, eh? What can you do? That reminds me once. I once got into trouble with a teacher where I pushed it a bit too far. History teacher, and someone asked him when it was his birthday, and he said, I think it was a girl. He said November the 1st, and I said, quite deadpan as I tended to do, which nothing has changed. I said, oh, I thought it was April the 1st, and it just come out a little bit too cockier than what I wanted. And my name was Dirt for a little bit while. But anyway, some teachers had a sense of humour, some didn't. I think he later became the headmaster. But there we go. That's the sort of way you need to go forward. Right. So I'm looking at those games you mentioned, you old Steve. So yeah, if we go that direction, let's just keep a mental note. So many games to look at, so little time. But we're in section 4 now of Beam Riding. Never turned into a film. What about Tron? Is that out on the Atari 2600? I mean, these graphics on this do sort of like remind me a little bit of the movie Tron, and that's the only reason why I mention it really. Okay. Right. So after this, we will squeeze in one last game on the stream, which has been quite successful. So thank you. We'll look at Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, the first ever licensed, I think, Star Wars game. So Tron was on the 2600 or 2600 or whatever you want to call it. That's good. Excellent. Is this my last life? I thought the lives in this game should be ticking down in the bottom right, but the top right I should say, but there's still 3 purple squares. Oh dear. That could be my last life. Yeah, so we've been going an hour and a quarter. That's a round and a half. That's been quite good going. Good stuff. So yeah, let's have a look at that Star Wars game that I mentioned. It'll be rude not to. There we go. Now let's try and work out the controls on this one. Let's get that started. So essentially, we're in this ship. We can fire stuff. Now, like Defender, you can see a map below with some flashing squares. That's where all the AT-ATs are, the Imperial Walkers, and we must blast them without getting hit, right? And they're all coming in a row, and they'll just keep running forever. There's one. You might want to hit it head on, but it's a bit dodgy if you do that. Hi, old boy. You've turned up with a great game that's coming here. this Atari 2600 stream, which hopefully we're going to do every week. These do seem to be going good. And now there's a sweet spot. Oh, I've been hit. Oh. I want to take down at least one of these. Thank you, Dave. That is helping. A bit lower than the Spectrum stream, this in terms of popularity. But Dave, you've been a one-man army on this one, so thank you. And there was another one in there as well. So thank you to everyone that's done the super chat. Oh man, it's a very playable game. A very playable game. We need to stop them getting to the end, but they do shoot at you a bit fast, don't they? Let's tuck it from behind. Oh look, I got hit by another one. Love that music. I thought I'd had that then. Shoot its butt. Right, will do. Yay. Thank you for the tactic there, elf boy. Some reason it's YouTube thought butt was the root for it, but I saw what it was and I did it. Ooh. Right. So this is the closest you got. After watching Empire Strikes Back, you would have loved playing this. That's how you do it round here. Oh. Maybe I need to attack it from the front as well. I'm trying to shoot the flashing dart. Oh, dearie me. Yay! Thank you, you old gamer Steve. So we got two. It was amazing for 1982. It's by Parker Brothers. Didn't Parker Brothers do the original... didn't they do Monopoly, Parker Brothers? Okay, good, right. Ooh. Good. All the super chats add up, right? Regardless of the amount. So I'm really grateful of those. Thank you very much. Oops! Oh dear. Yay! That's 3 Imperial Walkers taken down. There's no option to do tow cables like the film. Yeah, but why does the bird spit at the cameras? Well, I think that's what sort of like led to the Commodore 64 one, which was oops, I've blown up. The Commodore 64 one, which was you can land as well, can't you, to get extra energy? Or was that in Attack of the Mutant Camels, which was, as I was going to say, the Commodore 64. Right. This is essentially all the game. I think there's a few different modes as well that you can play. Whoops. Right. Oh. Let's tack it from behind. That seemed like a good system before. There's a new Spectrum Star Wars game, isn't there? Rebels that's recently come out, which has got like VR in it as well. That's gonna be big. Everyone's gonna be kids are gonna be playing that one for sure. Yeah, I agree, Dave. I do agree. Alright. This would be good as a minigame, wouldn't it? Hidden in that. Is it Rogue Squadron, I think that? Oh, look at that. We're going to have to shoot the legs with the tow cable. It's the only way. Oops, he's got kabooted again. Now this ship is getting quite close. I think we just go around in circles, don't we? I mean, why am I the only snow speeder trying to help out here? Oh, where's Wedge and Biggs and all those sorts of people? Where's Tolkien? Tolkien should be helping out. I think it's flashing because that thing's near the end. What's happened there? I think it's game over. Is that game over? I think they got near the end here. But a really special game, this one. I really like playing it quite a lot. Is there different modes on this one? Oh, there is different modes. How many as they go through? Cool, that's a lot. Oh, that's 2-player there. That goes into 2-player. Let's do mode 3 to see what that does. Do. Oh, we got 4 lives now. Right, so it starts off nice and gentle. The graphic looks quite basic, but you'd expect it to. Looks like a top hat, but it is a snow speeder. I always wanted a snow speeder as a sort of like toy. I did get the AT-AT, so that was a good out of the two, wasn't it? But didn't have a snow speeder. They were great, those toys, weren't they, at the time there? Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you, Phil. Thank you very much. Excellent. Yeah, so we will, looking at this, we will be, although it's lower than the ZX Spectrum, we will be looking at these next week then. Thanks, Phil. Just reading that graphic. Game over. Yeah, well, it's game over. Right, you hit the flashing bit, it's an instant kill. We all know this. You hit it from behind, sometimes it's an instant kill. Whoa, look at that. I'm getting clobbered here. So there's obviously a tactic, maybe weave up and down. Now in two-player mode, I'm presuming this is turn-based, isn't it? Oh dear. I don't think I would have lasted very well with the Rebellion. I think I would have been shot out the sky quite a lot. You got to keep on moving. That's what S Club 7 says. Right, keep on moving. So keep taking pot shots. That's what we'll do. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Oops, it's flashing, which means they're near the end of the base. Oh dear, they've got to the end. So if they get to the end of the edge on the right there on the scanner, then it's game over. Right. Okay, so that was number 4. Let's do 5 then. I'd imagine then the higher you go, the trickier it is. Keep moving. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Right, okay. Up, down, up, down, up, down. That's what we'll do. So we're trying to guard the rebel base. Darth Vader and it's is it General Veers? I'm going to get a bit nerdy now. General Veers in his lots of AT-ATs are causing lots of trouble. Right, okay, let's do a bit of weaving then. Oops, I didn't get too many shots there. Right, there we go. This is a better strategy. Thank you for your tips. Thank you for your tips, folks. Whoa. Yeah, this is much better. I was a sitting duck before, wasn't it? Right, and now there's that bit. Whoa. Thought we was going to do it then. Up and down, you say. Oops, took a bit of a clobber in there. Whoa, no. I think where you lose it is when you're trying to... what's that purple thing after me? I think when you lose it, it's when you're trying to hit that flashing bit to try and get it. Yeah, it takes a bit of patience, which I haven't got. That's one taken out. He didn't like that. This is when my friend goes down, doesn't it, and takes it. They blew up the head, didn't they? It was on the floor and they blew up the head. Right, are we invincible at the moment? The thing does seem to be flashing a little bit. But they're marching on forward and getting quite near the end. Right, a few shots there. I think that's a heat-seeking missile. Right. Yeah, I'm getting slowly better at this. I don't know if you saw my review years ago from on the Commodore 64, the mutant camels. It's very much like this, except you're versus mutant camels. Oh, I've almost had that thing. There's two of them finally. You're welcome, Chona Baggy. Thank you for stepping in. We will be coming to the end after this go, so thank you. I'm glad that I done it to gauge the popularity. It's quite late at the moment, isn't it? Anyway, I've had a long day, but yeah, it's been worth it. I've enjoyed speaking to you all on each of the streams, so thank you very much. Is this a secret way to just... Right. Oh, he doesn't seem to be putting up too much of a fight. Oops. Yeah, I thought that was going. I think that's a bit going well. See you, Tom. See you, Tom. Thank you. There. I'm doing better than you do. Okay, that's good. That's good. If you miss a part of the stream, they will be archived. I think this is the last live. Ooh. Can I get it at point blank range? No. We've been clobbered. Oh, we've got one life left. There we go. So been going almost 2 hours, haven't we? That's quite good going. Let's blow the steam and go home. You're right, elf boy. Oh, I'm in a bit cavalier now, but the ASAT is quite near. It's quite near the end. Whoa! Come on, Nick. We all want to go to bed. I've got one more life left. Oh right, okay. Well, do not to use that. Yeah. Right, that's one taken care of. We're taking that out. All right, they've got to the end anyway. Okay. So yes, thank you for stopping by the stream. We did go quite a distance there, didn't we? Really. Looked at fast food, Galaxian, tennis, Grand Prix, video pinball, Rampage, Beam Rider, and ESB. So if you're off to bed, have a good sleep, and I wish you well for tomorrow. Until next time, take great care of yourself. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you. Take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.